Good evening. Our state's finances will be back in the black within 3 years. That's the big prediction from Tim Nicholls, despite delivering a hefty deficit in today's budget.
The Treasurer revealed a $48 billion spend, but there's little relief for everyday Queenslanders.
Treasurer Tim Nicholls' tough, tight budget was beset by sharp revenue drops and big disaster reconstruction bills.
We have run into extraordinary events.
Talking up a $7.7 billion deficit this year, forecast to improve to $244 million by 2014-15, before a boldly predicted billion-dollar surplus the next year, growing to $1.4 billion 12 months later.
This budget is a responsible budget that starts putting gas back in the tank.
Ongoing disasters have greatly impacted the budget's bottom line. Reconstruction has racked up bills approaching $14 billion since 2010. Just over $4 billion to go on repairs and recovery this year alone. The ongoing health payroll fix-up, another drain, $384 million needed in the next 4 years.
There's not a lot of fat left in this budget.
It's not all bad news. Growth's forecast at 3% and above the national average. Unemployment, though, will hit 6% before falling 0.25% in 14-15, down to 5.5% the year after. While there will be no ongoing purge, public service jobs growth almost flatlines. Only a 0.6% increase next year, just 1,275 more jobs.
We have to learn to do more with less. So what the budget shows is a government that has got control of the public sector.
Essential services get the biggest cash splash. Health, more than $12 billion, up $500 million. Police get just over $2 billion, another $500 million increase. Education over the $11 billion mark after a $700 million boost. Still, there are budget cuts. Science, IT and the arts lose $74 million. Environment spending slashed by $34 million. We are all going to have to pay more for emergency fire and rescue services. An expanded levy to raise an extra $24 million in its first year, another $51 million the next.
I think people understand that we are working in a tougher time than was previously the case.
Getting back our AAA credit ratings nowhere in sight. It'll take the predicted billion-dollar surplus to come good in 3 years, plus a big boost from coal seam gas royalties. Spencer Jolly, 9 News.
Treasurer Tim Nicholls joins us now. Good evening, Treasurer. There was no mention of privatisation today. Is that next on the agenda?
Well, good evening, Melissa. I've been concentrating in the last 4 weeks or so on finalising the budget, but we will be looking in the future at the contestability of services and also the ownership of government-owned businesses. That's a piece of work that the government needs to have a conversation with Queensland about. We haven't started that yet. That's for the future.
All right, we look forward to hearing more about that. Tim Nicholls, thank you for your time.